Now I'm taking this piece of fabric. First we'll do a regular stitch. Now I'm pressing this reverse stitching lever completely, and you see the stitching is reversed. Now I'm stitching again. Now I'll press the reverse stitching lever to change the stitch length. I'm pressing it slightly and I'm pressing it a little more. Now I've kept the stitch length at 3 and this is the regular stitching till here. Then I press the reverse stitching lever slightly and you see the change in the stitch length. This is half stitch, and then when I press the lever even more, you see the stitches are so tiny. So without changing the stitch length, just by pressing the reverse stitching lever also you can change the stitch length. Now I'll also show when this is useful. Now see, in such corners where you want to exactly stop at this corner, this half stitch or smaller stitch length as you saw can be used by pressing the reverse stitching lever. And also in such small curves you can decrease the stitch length, because when the stitch length is long you cannot smoothly stitch along the curve. You may create an angle. So it helps to decrease the stitch length and sew. So let me show it. Now I want to stop exactly at this corner, but if I continue sewing, the stitch length may be more and it may go beyond the corner. That is when you can use the reverse lever to reduce the stitch length and stitch. So I've got it exactly at the corner. Now I can turn. And in such curves also, a smaller stitch length is useful. So only at that curve you can press the reverse lever to reduce the stitch length and stitch. So here it stopped exactly at the point because of the smaller stitch. And also here we have stitched smoothly along the curve.